Using video ads to introduce your brand to your target audience can be a great way to control the narrative a bit more than you can with a single image ad. With a video, you can tell a story. And while there are some really good placements out there that allow the user to skip the ad and save the advertiser money, sometimes you want a captive audience and you want them to get through your entire message. Now, while people might think YouTube mostly for video ads, you can also run non-skippable ads on Facebook. So today I want to show you how to set up ads that will run in a non-skippable video format on Facebook, talk through some of the scenarios where you might want to use that, and then I'm going to show you the stat differences of some campaigns that use the non-skippable versus skippable versions of the campaigns. I want to start this video by showing you how to create a non-skippable ad set in Facebook. And unlike most of our other videos, I'm not doing this in our placeholder account because we've done enough videos there without running any ads that Facebook disabled our account. I'm sorry that some things have to be blurred out, but hopefully it won't be too terribly much. To get started creating the campaign, I'm just going to come over here to create. And now I get to choose our campaign objective. Technically, you can run non-skippable video placements on nearly all of the different campaign objectives. And if you want to learn more about each of the campaign objectives, you can check out the video that we've already put together that's up at the top of the screen right now. But for the sake of this video, and what I think is probably the best outcome overall with a non-skippable ad placement, I'm going to use video views as my objective. The goal here is to get people to watch your videos, and since we are running non-skippable ad formats, that's exactly what we're going for. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and now we're in the campaign builder. I don't need to do anything else at the campaign level for this setup, so I'm just going to go to ad set. The first thing I want to call out is in the optimization and delivery section. You get to choose the optimization for ad delivery setting in a video views campaign. It defaults to a ThruPlay, which is either a complete view of your video or watching at least the first 15 seconds of anything longer than 15 seconds. If you want to adjust this, you can come over and click edit. And then the other option you have available is a 2-second continuous video view. In my opinion, a 2-second video view is not very long. So if we're going to have Facebook optimize into something, especially if we're trying to lean into the non-skippable format, a ThruPlay, or at least 15 seconds, is going to be the goal that we want to go after. So I wouldn't change this for this objective. Now I'm going to skip over the budget and schedule and all of the targeting options available on Facebook. If you're interested in watching more videos on Facebook, we have an entire playlist dedicated just to Facebook. You can check that out at the top of the screen right now. But instead, I'm going to scroll down to the ad placement section of the ad set settings. It's all the way down here at the bottom, and as you can see, it defaults to automatic placements, which is recommended by Facebook. To create an ad set that is only going to run a non-skippable ad placement on Facebook, we need to click into manual placements, and then it opens up this editor down below. And the only option that we want to have selected at the end of this is going to be this in-stream option here. Quickly capture people's attention while they're watching videos. So it is a Facebook in-stream video placement. Just as a quick way to get a number of these check marks to go away, I'm going to uncheck Audience Network, uncheck Instagram, uncheck Messenger, and now there are only a few check marks left that we need to undo. So Feed, Marketplace, Video Feeds, scroll down a little bit, get rid of Stories, Reels, Search, In Article, and now we're all set. So if I scroll back up a little bit, one thing that I do want to note is that Facebook gives us a note that Instagram in-stream video is no longer available as an ad placement. You can run video ads on Instagram, but you need to use the Reels placement instead. This just leans into all of the adjustments that Instagram and Facebook as the parent company are making to the user experience on Instagram. They're really leaning hard into Reels, so the adjustments in placements is just a reflection of that. Now that we've selected this placement, I want to go into one of Facebook's help articles to talk a little bit more specifically about it, since this section in the builder doesn't really give a lot of detail. So a Facebook in-stream video ad allows you to place ads in video content. The goal with this placement is for you to capture attention of people already watching videos and to drive longer video views, because you can use videos anywhere from 5 seconds to 10 minutes in length for this placement. If we scroll down a little bit, you can see that Facebook in-stream video ads could be shown during videos from familiar publishers and digital-first creators, or during partner live streams from a select group of approved partners. So effectively, when somebody is on Facebook watching a video, your ad can show up within that video. One thing to note is that Facebook only starts showing these in-stream ads after the video has run for at least 1 minute. So prior to the 1 minute mark during the video, no ads will show up. But after that, it's up to Facebook's discretion and their algorithm to decide when an ad is going to be shown. Here are some of the design recommendations and tech specs for a Facebook in-stream video ad. The ratio needs to be 16:9 or 1:1. It needs to be an MP4, an MOV, or a GIF. You need to have a resolution of at least 1080 by 1080. And you can see that there are also text components as well. You get 125 characters for the primary text and 40 for the headline, just like most other placements. You do get a little bit more than that for each of those areas, but those are the ones that won't be cut off. And then the video duration needs to be anywhere from 5 seconds to 10 minutes long as it doesn't go over the 4 GB file size. Now, some of you might be thinking, 10 minutes, that's a really long video to not be skippable. And you'd be absolutely right. Technically, even though these are called non-skippable ads, what that really means is that within the first 15 seconds, or that ThruPlay that I mentioned earlier, people will not be able to skip the ad. But anytime after that 15-second mark, they will. So the first 15 seconds of any video on Facebook in a non-skippable ad format is going to be extremely important to grab the user's attention and make sure that they stick around to watch longer after that 15-second piece to get as much view duration out of it as you can. So with that, let's hop back into the ad builder and close out one more quick thing in the setup. Once you've narrowed your placements to only the in-stream section, there's only one additional thing we need to do to make sure that our ads are in a non-skippable format. That's going to be down here at the bottom of this section. And you'll see down here at the bottom, it's already chosen. And it says to exclude skippable ads. It's available for in-stream videos, and skippable ads are excluded. If I open this up real quick, you'll see that there's a checkbox that says don't include skippable ads in this ad set. If you uncheck that, your ad will show up in locations that are skippable, or basically as the user's video content is rolling, there will be an option for them to skip the upcoming ad break and not see your ad at all. But by having this checkbox marked, that means that they will not have the option to skip the ad before it even starts, and they will have to watch at least the first 15 seconds of your ad, or ideally, the entirety of your message if it was compelling enough. So with that, you might be asking, what actually is the purpose of a non-skippable video ad if it's still only 15 seconds? Why would I use this format? So let's talk about that real quick. We have two main goals for non-skippable ad formats on Facebook. The first is to have more controlled brand awareness. We have a captive audience upwards of 15 seconds for these ad placements, so it allows us to tell a better brand story during that time than it would for that 2 or 3 second continuous video view, or even just with a static image ad or a carousel. So utilizing this format allows you to be a lot more in control of how the user hears your brand message, especially with 15 seconds to play with. The second is that we can create audiences based on these video views. We have a video that talks about how to create engagement audiences on Facebook. You can check that out at the top of the screen right now. And one of those audiences is based on video views. You can get really specific with which videos users have watched, how long they watched it, and be able to retarget them in a highly accurate way because these are on-platform engagements and we don't have to rely on the third-party cookies that have been causing issues. So utilizing these non-skippable ads can help you control your brand and then also create an audience of those users who have seen that brand message to re-engage with them in a meaningful way. The benefits of non-skippable ads are kind of leaning into the same goals that we talked about, but first is that you have a captive audience. That person, if they want to continue watching the content they were watching before, has to stick around for that 15 seconds before they're able to skip the ad. So you have their attention and you can make the most of that 15 seconds before they decide to skip the ad, even if they don't stick around to watch the remaining portion of your video. Second is you have more time for crafted branding. As I mentioned, 15 seconds is a good amount of time. There are some ad formats that we have that are shorter than 15 seconds. A YouTube bumper ad is only 6 seconds. Granted, it's mostly for retargeting, but still, you can get a lot accomplished in 15 seconds. And because of that, you're able to tell a better story and people will have better recall of your brand associated with it. I don't have any studies to point to, but I can guarantee you that anecdotally, you yourself know a lot of different brand messages because you've seen ads even of 15 seconds over and over again. So the longer you have to listen to that message, the more times you've heard it, the better you're going to be able to recall it. And then the last piece with the non-skippable ads is there's a big improvement in the view performance of the ads themselves. And rather than talking about that specifically in these slides, let's hop into a different ad account where we ran 2 different campaign types for video views, and I'll show you the difference. In this account, we ran 2 different video views campaigns. One only targeting the non-skippable ad placement, and the other targeting all placements. I apologize, we have to blur out the campaign name because it has client information in it, but the top line, the one that I have the checkbox next to and the one that is highlighted slightly blue, is the campaign where we ran only non-skippable ads, and the other is going to be the one where we had all placements. As you can see in the 3-second video plays column, the one with more placements available had a lot more reach. So that's something that I do want to call out as a distinction in the volume associated with each campaign. But you can imagine that because it had so many more placements it could run, it had more impressions overall. The volume numbers are going to be different, but what I really want to call out is going to be the rates at which people watched videos. So I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. So as you can see here, the cost per 3-second video play for the non-skippable, it was 3 cents, whereas for the all placements campaign, it was 2 cents. So we paid a little bit more for a 3-second video view, and you can see that the rates between them were still quite a bit different. There were about 88% of people who watched the 3 seconds of the video for the non-skippable, and 38% for the all placements location. But if we get into the ThruPlay stats, it's going to start to tell a different story. Again, a ThruPlay is going to be anything of 15 seconds or more. You get a little bit of a definition here if you hover over that. So you can see it's either 15 seconds or completion of a shorter video. Now, although the all placements campaign still had quite a bit more ThruPlays, the cost differential has shifted. Now the non-skippable ads are still at 3 cents per ThruPlay, whereas the all placements campaign is now at 4 cents. It's doubled. And the rates of these ThruPlays are quite a bit different. The non-skippable ad format only went from about 88 down to 81%, but the all placements one was cut in half. People watched less than 19% of the videos, 15 seconds or more. And this difference becomes even more drastic when you look at the lengths of the plays on the videos themselves. So if I come over here, you can see plays at 25%. The view rate for non-skippable is at 84%. Whereas all placements it's at 20%, and a 100% rate, which means that somebody did not skip the ad at all, even though they were able to after that 15-second mark, was still 13% on the non-skippable ad and only 6.6% on the all placements campaign. So depending on what you're looking at in terms of KPIs for your video views campaigns, the length of time that people watch videos, especially to this ThruPlay rate, is going to be much higher on a non-skippable ad placement than it will be for all placements combined. Again, volume is lower when you narrow only to one placement, but the efficiencies that come from that can pay off quite a bit, knowing that you're paying less for somebody to watch more of your video, and you're able to then retarget those users through audience-targeted campaigns with engagement audiences on Facebook. Depending on what your goals are, it might not necessarily make sense for you to always have a specific non-skippable ad format as well as all placements. It might make sense for you to roll it together, to focus only on non-skippable, but that's almost impossible for me to prescribe on these videos since a number of people are watching these different options. At least now you know how to set up a non-skippable ad format on Facebook and look to improve your performance metrics out of the video views campaigns. But if I skipped over anything that you were interested in, or you have any other questions on non-skippable ads on Facebook or even on YouTube, feel free to leave us a note in the comments below. Thanks for watching our video. If you thought it was useful, give us a thumbs up below.
We release a new video at least once a week, so if you want to get notified of when a new one comes out, be sure to subscribe to the Paid Media Pros channel.